Right, so I'm just going to show you a really good upper body warm-up that you can go through. I mean, this is a generic warm-up, so obviously if you've got certain issues with your shoulders, so if you're lacking external rotation, flexion, or a particular movement, then obviously you would spend more time doing that. But because the shoulder is quite an unstable, we're notorious for quite an unstable joint, more of the focus on this is going to be on activation. The only mobility stuff that I'm going to be doing is looking at the thoracic spine. So a lot of people have issues with extension through their thoracic, so that ends up not being able to actually use their shoulders properly. So I'm just going to pop the camera down. So because obviously of the thoracic spine issue, I'm just going to go through a thoracic spine mobilization first. So I'll pop this down. Get that a bit better. Right, so I'll just take the bands off. Right, so simply just going to get a foam roller, and what you're going to do here is you're going to go on the bottom of your thoracic spine, so where your lower back and mid back meet, and all you're going to do is lie back on that, hands behind your head just to support your neck a little bit. You're just going to lean into it. You'll probably get a few cracks here. Just spend a few seconds on each segment of your spine, working your way up. It's probably going to be quite uncomfortable if you're quite stiff here. So just try and relax and breathe into it. Again, you'll probably get quite a few cracks out. After a couple of minutes of doing this, you should feel a lot better. So just take your time, just work on each segment and relax. So again, like I said, that's probably going to be the only mobility exercise that I would do for any sort of upper body stuff, just because the shoulder is notoriously quite unstable anyways, so you don't want to create more instability, or you don't want to stretch your muscles so much that you're kind of reducing the power that you're able to produce during the session. So, going to get a couple of bands here, so pop this up. There we go. Right, so this is just a routine I like to do before any upper body session. So, bit of external rotation, rotator cuff activation. So, you can get the band, light band, nothing too crazy. Going to work kind of in 12 to 20 rep range. So, hands, elbows by your side. Just going to pull your elbows apart, pull your hands apart, whilst keeping your elbows tucked in. Again, 12 to 20 reps of those. Probably going to get a bit of a burn here. That's alright. If you get after 12 reps, just stick to 12 reps and then move on to the next exercise. So the next exercise is just a little bit more advanced. So we're going to do a band pull apart. So you get the band, similar sort of distance to the rotator cuff activation. Just going to straighten your arms out, keep your elbows straight. Just going to pull the band apart and squeeze the shoulder blades as hard as you can at the back. So again, because this is an activation exercise, we want to kind of do more the higher rep range, and because it's quite a light resistance as well, you can actually cope with the high rep range. So between 12 and 20 of these, really making sure that you squeeze your shoulder blades together. Right, and once you've done those, then move on to another really good rotator cuff exercise, which I like to do. So it's a face pull. So I'm going to show you from behind. It's probably easier to do, so I'll just knock that up a little bit. Just a tiny bit. Alright. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to get a band again. You're going to wrap it around a squat rack or something that's pretty stable. Have it even. And all you're going to do is you're going to pull the band towards your face. So back, squeezing your shoulder blades together and turning your arms out, so you're externally rotating. Hold for a split second and then back. Again, working on quite high rep range with this, so between 12 and 20 reps. With this, depending on what sort of resistance you're using, you're probably going to want to stick to the lower rep range, so probably 12 repetitions. And then on to the final exercise. Shout out to Stu Appleby for giving us the inspiration for the name of this exercise. So, actually, probably change the camera angle. Move the camera back a little bit. Right. Right. So what you're going to do is you're going to have the band held down with your foot, and it's going to be held in the opposite hand. From here, you're just going to pull the band across and above your head. Again, I'm going to do between 12 and 20 repetitions of this on each side. So yeah, shout out to Stu Appleby, giving the inspiration of the name of this exercise, calling them John Travolta's. Quite appropriate. So what you're thinking about is really trying to pull across the body and then hold at the top. And then swap sides, so you put it underneath the other foot. And then go back across the body. 12 to 20 reps on that side as well. So again, doing one set of that should only take a few minutes realistically. I would recommend doing a couple of sets of that, at least 2, just to kind of get the full benefits out of it and just get like really good activation. What you'll notice is that you do feel quite a lot of a burn in your upper back and the back of your shoulders, which is totally natural. It's kind of what you're looking for. And what this will do is just really activate the muscles on the back, which often get quite neglected, and they're really important for general shoulder health. Can't get my words out. But yeah, that's kind of generic upper body warm-up that you should do, especially if you haven't got any sort of issues with your shoulders anyways. If you did have issues with your shoulders, then you would probably put in a few exercises that are really specific towards that. So again, if you're having issues with flexion, extension, any sort of rotation at your shoulders, then you can probably do a few more mobility exercises to enhance that. But yeah, hopefully you've enjoyed the video, found it helpful.